Howdy. I have been talking about there will be probably floods in Germany. Check. I will put a link below. I don't know if that's Germany because these are these kind of extreme weather videos and you never know how accurate they are, but obviously there is something going on in Germany at the moment. Maybe some other countries too. There's something in southern Switzerland going on, floods and stuff. But now to something interesting. Earthquakes. There has been a quake in the night in the Jura Park of Aargau in Switzerland. Usually, or how to put it, this is an earthquake hotspot. In this region, there has happened many little quakes recently. And this one is 3.0. It might be that it has been downgraded or whatsoever. It is unconfirmed. We have two user reports. Depth under the epicenter 10 kilometers, which probably doesn't say us anything or tell us, or however you speak correctly. English, I don't know. Sitting on our couch, lamp and side table started to move. Me and my family just felt an earthquake in Rheinfelden and were really scared because everything was shaking. So, Jura Park Aargau. Jura Park Aargau. Geology. The park perimeter is made up of the tabular Jura in the north and the last foothills of the chain Jura in the south. While typical table surfaces, rugged rock edges, rock debris and cracks occur in the tabular Jura, there are more overthrust, slumps and landslides and sinkholes in the chain Jura. The connections between landscape and geology can be directly experienced in many places in the Jura Park Aargau. Yeah, landscape, geology, it's the same thing in a way. Remarkable fossils from the time of the primordial sea Tethys appear in the rock strata of the Jurassic. Young and old hobby geologists, yeah, even I could go there, have the opportunity to tap for ammonites with a hammer and chisel at various points. In the sediments of the shallow sea water there are also layers containing iron, which are now nowhere else in Switzerland as thick as in the Jura Park. The mining of iron ore around the villages of Herznach and Wölflinswil has a long tradition and left behind many tunnels. Furthermore, we have this, I think I made a video about that, I don't know. Tufa Ditch. The Tufa Ditch is a rare natural phenomenon. A stream is formed when several springs flow together on the southern slope of the Gisli Flue. The Tufa Ditch is a rare natural phenomenon. The creek is created from the confluence of several springs on the southern slope of the Gisli Flue and finally flows in an almost straight line in the small valley basin created by its diverse waterfall down to the Aare. It is astonishing, even wondrous, that this stream always carries water in all seasons and regardless of the amount of precipitation. Although the flow of water fluctuates, the stream never dries up. You can find out how this happens on information boards on site or in the PDF under downloads. Here are some pictures of that. And I think that's a very good sign of this mountain, Gisli Flue, being a cryptodome. Since the stream carries always water regardless of the amount of precipitation. But also very interesting is the mining operations. According to mine.org, iron mine Herznach Lavenburg, Aargau, Switzerland, we are watching at something called Oolithic iron ore. So, Oolithic means basically it's a Greek word, or it's derived from Greek and means something like egg. Simplified, a shell. Or a sphere, not a shell. Yeah, a sphere has shells. But anyway, spheres. A review on the characterization and processing of Oolithic iron ores. Access through your institution or purchase. It's no and no, so I cannot read the whole paper. Abstract, but we still have the abstract and some text. Oolithic iron ores are a distinctive subset of iron ore deposits and are characterized by their spherical grains composed of concentric layers containing hematite and goethite along with impurity elements such as silicon and phosphorus. Depending on their petrology, oolithic ores may require very simple or extremely complex flow sheets for their processing. This review focused on beneficiation by conventional mineral processing techniques and also more energy-intensive processes involving heating or leaching. The aim of roasting is to transform minerals like hematite and goethite to magnetite or metallic iron, making them amenable to concentration by magnetic separation. Now check it out. The overall aim of this review was to highlight possible techniques for economically processing oolithic iron ores for the subsequent production of iron and steel. An attempt has been made in assembling this review to strike a balance between more historical documentation and plethora of recent information readily obtainable by searching electronic databases. Introduction. The aim of this review is to collate and summarize selected information concerning the characterization and processing of oolithic iron ores. There are many types of iron ore deposits that have been historically important as sources of iron minerals, which hematite, magnetite, goethite, and martite, hematite that has replaced primary magnetite, are dominant. The mineralogical and chemical and physical characteristics of iron ores have recently been reviewed by Cloud and Manuel, to which the reader is referred for general information. It is the purpose of this review to focus specifically on oolithic iron ores which have peculiar characteristics which have not been reviewed in detail. Oolithic iron ores can be classified as sedimentary oolithic iron stones, include deposits in Germany, Australia, Canada, Colombia, the United States, and Switzerland. Oolithic iron ores often contain high levels of phosphorus that resist conventional mineral processing methods. Oolites are sedimentary rocks formed from oids, which are spherical grains composed of concentric layers. The name derives from the Greek word for egg. Oolites consist of oids of diameters between 0.25 and 2 millimeters. Rocks composed of oids larger than 2 millimeters are called pisolites. Together, these classes are referred as pelletoids. They contain a nucleus and multiple cortices. Let this sink in for a second. They contain a nucleus and multiple cortices. A nucleus? And layers. Oolithic iron ore deposits occur in Newfoundland, Canada, Lorraine, France, Colombia, Peace River District, Alberta, Canada, Agbaya, Nigeria, and southern Egypt. McGregor and his colleagues have summarized nearly 400 occurrences of phanerozoic oolithic ironstone deposits in terms of stratigraphic grade, tonnage, and iron-bearing ore minerals on a global scale, which can be consulted for more detailed information. A detailed description of the Robe River Oolithic iron ores of the Hamsley Range region in Western Australia has been published by Bouillon and Hun in 1964, which gives photographs of the various structures of magnetic and non-magnetic oolitic irons from that region. Refer to this material as pistolytic lamanite in their description of the history, stratigraphy, geomorphology, mineralogy, and texture of this ore. An important oolitic deposit in the Pilbara region of Western Australia is known as Channel Iron Deposit. The oids consist of a simple ore complex nucleus surrounded by a cortex, whereas the less abundant pisoids consist of geothite replacements of regolith particles. What was the CID? Channel iron deposit ore is typically composed of brown or yellow ochreous geothite pelletoids, oids or pisoids, some of which can be partially dehydrated to hematite, ferriganized fossil wood charcoal fragments, and a minor geothetic matrix. Another description is that they contain hematite nuclei with geothite cortices, fragments of fine-grained geothite and geothite-replaced wood fragments, indicating a significant amount of geothite present. Detailed description of the geology, petrology, and mineralogy of these channel iron deposits in the Hamsley Range have been reported by Raminadou et al. And their genesis by Morris and Ramadou. The geochemical characterization of typical channel iron deposits in the Pilbara region of Western Australia has recently been reviewed by blah blah blah. So, I just have to take this picture. Obviously, it is made by myself, a picture collage of several other pictures, and you can see the straight lines and all that. It's handmade. Since I haven't found a picture like this anywhere, I had to make it by myself. That's Mother Earth. And I think there might be a plasmoid at its core. And on the left side, we have a geoid and repellent core, explained by Wolf Thornhill. So, the geoid is hollow. Maybe it wasn't hollow, maybe there has been water inside or whatever. But it has spheres. It has different kind of layers. And there are many geological oddities in the world about spherical shapes in geology. Some of them are made of sandstone or whatsoever. And now we have this huge earthquake there. We have, in the same region, this probable cryptodome-ish waterfall system, which is changing its shape all the time because it's depositing minerals there. It's growing in a way. It has its own microclimate, in where the plants suck out the CO2 straight out of the water. Yeah, I think I made a video about this. And the whole region was obviously once covered by water, the Tethys Sea. And there are layers with this iron. And I found a picture of this sedimentary rock, what they're talking about, from the Herznach mine. So, Phyllocheraten, which are kind of ammonites. They are living in the water. Mussel animals, like mussels. Snails, maybe, emerge from these, but anyway. This star represents finds of these. We have one star here and another one up here. We also have the time. So there is somewhat, I don't know, it's really hard to estimate, but 4 to 5 millions of years between those, according to their theory. And the red stuff here is the iron ore. And there is layer upon layer upon layer. And somehow this doesn't really make sense to me. How can they find the same thing here and here if it supposedly took billions of years or however long it took? So I think the whole process may have happened differently. Let's take electromagnetics into account. Everyone knows iron is reacting strongly to magnetism. And there are very thick layers at this region where the quake happens, or happened, which is unconfirmed. In the same region, we probably have a cryptodome. There are mining operations. We have rivers, many rivers. Aare, Reuss, Limmat joining together, and they are joining together the Rhine, which is straightly connected to the volcanoes in Germany. And we have geothermal activity in the same region, many thermal baths, and all these kind of things. So maybe electromagnetism has created all those layers. It didn't petrify those ammonites and all the stuff what you find in the limestone. They just got cementized by basically drying up. And some of them happened to be in this layer of iron, which probably got accumulated through magnetism. So you don't get magnetism without electricity. And if there was or has been strong electric currents beneath the surface, for example, and it conquered some kind of resistivity, it created heat. So the Tethys Sea started to dry up, at least to some places. And if there is a strong electrical current, you will have strong magnetic fields. That's probably the reason why we have those iron ore accumulations there. And even the iron ore accumulation is made out of little spheres which have a nucleus, quite much like Earth or a geoid. I'm not able to imagine any slow process in nature which is creating these kinds of spheres with a nucleus and made out of different materials. Because if there's like crystals or minerals growing slowly, they will take on their distinct shape, which is usually rather sharp or straight or however you put it. But not a sphere made out of different things. Doesn't make sense, to me at least, at all. But if you take electricity into account, charge potentials and all these kind of things, that's the only way how to create spheres made out of different things with a nucleus. But I am very busy. I just had to share this with you because I think it's very important and also very actual because this quake just happened 10 hours ago. So we are on the ball. Many things are happening. Now, if I zoom out a little bit, put on the other terrain view, here's the quake. Here are the rivers joining 3 rivers. That's the river Rhine. It goes on, and here we have Kaiserstuhlvulcano, probably extinct. It's not. I don't think it's extinct. There's water and stuff going on, flowing out of the mountain and all these kind of things. No, it's not. There would be many other things to talk about too, but I will leave it here. Take care, be aware, watch the sky, and yeah, see you next time. Thanks, bye.